More than 800 years ago, a man from the harsh Mongolian steppe rose from a nomadic leader to the most powerful conqueror in human history. His name was Genghis Khan. He united warring tribes, built the largest contiguous land empire the world has ever seen, stretching from the Pacific Ocean to the borders of Europe. His armies were unstoppable, his influence absolute. And yet, despite his massive legacy, there is one question history has never answered. Where is Genghis Khan buried? No one knows. No grave, no tomb, no clear record. Only myths, whispers and legends passed down through centuries. Today, we will uncover the mysteries behind his burial, the strange stories told for generations, and why his final resting place may be the world's greatest unsolved mystery. In 1227, during a campaign against the Western Jia kingdom in China, Genghis Khan fell ill. The exact cause of his death is still debated by historians. Some say he fell from his horse, while others suggest it was an infectious disease like bubonic plague, according to a recent study in the International Journal of Infectious Diseases. On his deathbed, he gave one final command to his family and closest generals. His burial must remain a secret. Why? In Mongol belief, a great leader's spirit must not be disturbed. His enemies should never defile his body, and the sacred site should not become a tourist attraction. His resting place was to remain hidden forever. And so began one of the greatest secrets of history. One of the most famous and chilling legends comes from accounts like those of Marco Polo, a Venetian merchant who traveled to the Mongol court decades later. He wrote that when Genghis Khan's body was carried back to Mongolia, the funeral procession killed every living soul they met along the way, to ensure no one knew the route. Why? To keep the burial route secret. When they finally reached the hidden site, the soldiers who buried the body were themselves executed to ensure no one could reveal the tomb. And then, those executioners were also killed. A chain of silence that ended with no survivors. While historians debate the authenticity of this brutal tale, its power lies in its testament to the Mongols' fierce determination to protect their leader's final resting place. Another widespread myth, recounted by chroniclers of the era, says Genghis Khan was buried deep in a valley, and afterwards, a river was diverted to flow over his grave, hiding it beneath water forever. Some stories claim that thousands of horses were then ridden over the land to flatten the earth, erasing all traces of the burial mound. This echoes similar legends like that of the Sumerian king Gilgamesh, showing how deeply rooted this practice was in ancient traditions of concealment. Imagine this: a mighty conqueror lying silently beneath the earth, guarded not by walls of stone but by the very forces of nature itself. This myth has fueled countless treasure hunters, but no proof has ever been found. Many Mongols believe Genghis Khan rests at Burkhan Khaldun, a sacred mountain he loved. In the secret history of the Mongols, an ancient chronicle, Genghis Khan is said to have declared this mountain a holy site and a protector for his family. According to legend, his tomb lies somewhere within this mountain, sealed in secrecy. The area around it became known as Ikh Korig, or the Great Taboo, and for centuries, no one except the Mongol royal family was allowed inside. Trespassing was punishable by death. But here's the twist. For the Mongols, the greatest tribute to their ancestor is not finding his tomb, but leaving it untouched. As anthropologist Jack Weatherford, author of Genghis Khan and the Making of the Modern World, notes, he said, "Let my body die, but let my nation live. Therefore people should ignore the body and concentrate on the welfare of the nation." Over the years, historians and archaeologists from around the world have tried to locate the tomb, often using modern technology. In the early 2000s, an ambitious project led by National Geographic used crowdsourced satellite imagery to scan the entire Mongolian steppe, searching for unusual patterns in the soil. Over 10,000 online volunteers tagged more than 2 million potential sites. Similarly, in 2016, a French team led by archaeologist Pierre-Henri Giscard used drones and ground-penetrating radar to survey a suspicious-looking mound on the slopes of Burkhan Khaldun. While the scan confirmed the mound was man-made and a potential royal burial site, the Mongolian government's ban on excavation has meant the secret remains sealed. Every clue, every piece of technology seems to lead to a dead end. It is as if the great Khan himself still guards his secret from beyond the grave. Why does this mystery captivate us today, centuries later? Because Genghis Khan was not just a conqueror. His empire connected east and west, facilitating trade, ideas, and technologies along the Silk Road. He created the first international postal system, established religious freedom, and unified a fragmented people. And yet, his final chapter remains unwritten. The idea that the most powerful man of his time vanished into the earth without a trace challenges our understanding of history and our own mortality. His tomb is not a simple grave, it represents the ultimate act of humility by a man who possessed the world. Some historians believe the myths are not accidental, but intentional. Perhaps the Mongols wanted the world to search forever. Maybe Genghis Khan wanted his grave to remain a mystery, so his spirit could live on in legend, rather than be confined to a single stone monument. As historian Jack Weatherford suggests, he wanted his nation to be his legacy, not a physical tomb. Perhaps his greatest conquest was not in battle but in how he conquered death by becoming immortal in mystery. To this day, no one knows where Genghis Khan lies. Is he beneath a river, under a sacred mountain, or somewhere forgotten in the vast silent steppe? The truth may never be revealed. But maybe, that's the point. His tomb is not in the ground, it is in the stories, the myths, and the imagination of humanity. Because sometimes mystery itself is more powerful than the answer.